Now, Southern California's first high-definition news. Eyewitness News at 5.
Good morning. I'm Philip Palmer.
And I'm Kathy Barr. Thanks for starting your morning with us.
Thank you, Jane. A rash of armed robberies has residents in a section of Hollywood on high alert. At least 7 people have been confronted while simply walking down the street. Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia is live in Hollywood, where police are actively investigating these crimes. Sid.
We are right along the 7500 block of Melrose Avenue at Melrose and Gardner, the area where the neighborhood where the last one took place. And there have been 7 attacks in a week's time, and these have all been armed robberies. Fortunately, no one was seriously hurt. But the neighborhood has decided that it's time to take some action and to get people out and about to make sure that this doesn't happen again. With the Melrose Action Neighborhood Watch is Melvin Murguia. And the one thing you were telling me this morning is that you're not telling people to just stay inside. You're telling people to get out and about and to have more eyes out on the streets in this neighborhood.
Oh, absolutely. I think the more that people get out there and walk their dogs, open their curtains in the living room, hang out, put the lights on, I think will deter those kind of robberies. We can't expect the police to be everywhere at, every block. So we need to take it upon ourselves to be vigilant and watch for our neighbors. And we have a lot of elders in the community. They've been very fearful. All of these things happening. Plus we have an unsolved murder of Catan and Comic, and so this has been horrific for our neighborhood, and it just, it's something that doesn't happen here. So we're definitely, I guess, suffering some of the ripple effects from the economy, the overdevelopment, and all of, different people coming into this neighborhood.
And the bottom line is here is that if you see something suspicious, don't hesitate to dial 911, but yet still be out and about it, and don't go out by yourself if you're going to be walking your dog or just going out for a leisurely stroll.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, call 911 if you see anything suspicious or something taking place occurring. And even if you're not sure, what we have with melroseaction.com for our neighborhood is a way to get informed. We encourage our neighbors to go on the website and check to see if there's anything happening, or, at the same time, looking out for each other. We have block captains that have people's names, and one of our purposes is to get people to connect, to know who your neighbor is, be on the lookout. If that's not their car in the driveway, call 911 or call the police, say, hey, you know what, I'm not sure. So really it's about us sticking together and watching over each other.
All right, Millie, thank you very much for joining us this morning. As she mentioned, there was not too long ago in March, the murder of an elderly man here in this neighborhood who was out for a leisurely walk. I'm going to show you picture of him. He is 70-year-old Catan Kaimov. He was simply walking out for his leisurely stroll when he was stabbed. This took place in March of this year. It's not long how long he was lying on the streets there suffering, but he later died after his body was discovered. Now, if you have any information on what happened here in the Melrose neighborhood, you're urged to contact the number you see on the screen. It's the LAPD's Hollywood Division at area code 213-972-2967. The only description we have of the 3 suspects police are looking for is that they're African-American men between 5'6" to 6 feet tall. They weigh between 150 to 200 pounds. Live in Hollywood, Sid Garcia, ABC7 Eyewitness.
Scott, police are investigating a rash of armed robberies in a section of Hollywood. Detectives say that between 1 and 3 suspects have been holding up people simply walking alone on streets. Those suspects have a gun and demand money. Eyewitness News reporter Sid Garcia is live in Hollywood, where residents are trying to help each other stay safe. Sid.
And that, they figure, is going to be the key. Instead of being shut in after what's happened here, we're on the 7400 block of Melrose Avenue at Gardner and Melrose. They figured, no, the best thing to do is to go back out on the streets, do what you normally do, go for a walk. The last one happened here in this neighborhood about a week ago. Somebody walking by themselves was robbed at gunpoint in their car. Now the Neighborhood Watch Committee here is saying, you know what, we're going to do everything we can to make this neighborhood safer.
They're tense. We have the phones ringing off the hook. We have, people calling, oh my gosh, is it safe to be outside of my house? I just heard that there's robbery. And in fact, one of our co-founders, Peter Nichols, right in front of his house, there was a robbery that took place.
In a neighborhood not too far from here, back in March, 70-year-old Catan Kaimov was going for his daily stroll when he was attacked and stabbed to death. This murder is still unsolved. One of the things the Neighborhood Watch here is urging people to do is to simply go out and about on their regular business. Walk the dog, go for your leisurely walk, but don't do it alone. They figure the more eyes and ears are out on the streets, the quicker they'll be able to nab the 3 suspects police are looking for. Let me show you a phone number here. If you have any information on the 3 suspects described as African American in their mid to late 20s, the number for the LAPD Hollywood Division is area code 213-972-2967, and there is still a significant reward out for information leading to the killer, Mr. Kaimoff. That reward is up to nearly $70,000. Live in Hollywood, Sid Garcia, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Is that it for our show? It is. Tony and Jean, are you going to class things up over there for the next half hour?
Well,
we'll do our best.
Effort.
All right, Jill, Dorothy, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You know what? At least 7 holdups in 1 week, and folks in Hollywood are being told to be on the alert after a rash of armed robberies.
Gina Silva is live in Hollywood with today's top story. Gina, good morning.
Good morning, Tony. Jean, police are looking for 1 to 3 suspects, men who've been holding up people at gunpoint, demanding money, people who've just been walking on the street, minding their own business. Now, this is in the area of Hollywood. The information that we have right now is that all of the incidents have occurred late in the evening, sometime around 10 o'clock. In one case, a victim was just leaving a restaurant when a man came up from behind a tree, confronted the victim, threatened him with a gun, and demanded money. The victim complied and was not hurt. Now, in the last week, there have been at least 7 armed robberies in the streets of Hollywood. Detectives from the LAPD Hollywood Division say in some of the cases there have been at least 1 attacker, and others there have been 3 men.
Okay, we apologize for the audio problems. We'll get back to Gina and get the story again on the rash of robberies.
But there is other news.
All right, let's go back to Hollywood, where we had Gina Silva talking about this rash of robberies that residents have been alerted to. Hey, Gina.
Yeah, Jean, we'll try it again. Our microphone is now working. Now, police are definitely looking for 1 to 3 suspects, men who have been holding up people at gunpoint, demanding money, people who've been walking here on the streets in the area of Hollywood. This is Melrose and Gardner. Now, the information that we have is that some of the incidents are occurring late in the evening, sometime around 10 o'clock. In one case, the victim was just leaving a restaurant when a man came up from behind a tree, confronted the victim, threatened him with a gun, and demanded money. Now, the victim complied and he was not hurt. In the last week, there have been at least 7 armed robberies on the streets of Hollywood. Detectives from the LAPD division, Hollywood division, say some of the cases there have been 1 attacker. In others, there have been up to 3 men working together. Each time they show a weapon. Now, police don't know yet if all of the incidents are related. They do say the suspects are all African American males in their early 20s, and they weigh anywhere from 150 to 200 pounds. And they're asking if anybody knows anything to please contact the police. Now, right now, I do have Paul Lerner. You're with Melrose Action. You want to let the community know what is going on.
We really do. We're not sure that people always hear about these things, so we're doing everything we can to spread the word, make sure that people know to stay alert, and if they see anything suspicious, to call the police immediately. So we're sending out emails to all the people on our Neighborhood Watch email list. We're encouraging people to go to our website, which is melroseaction.com, for safety updates. And we're also going to go around Melrose Avenue today to all of the merchants and hand out flyers, because it seems like some of the people who are being targeted in these armed robberies are employees of the stores and restaurants along Melrose Avenue.
So as they're leaving work is when the attacks occur?
That's right, especially if they work at a restaurant, they leave work late at night, they have to go back to their car, which could be a couple of blocks away. Some of those people are being targeted. We want to make sure that they know to stay alert and really maybe have escorts or watch out for what's going on.
And again, the idea is that by letting people know that these armed robberies are occurring here in the area of Hollywood, that hopefully these guys will stop doing this.
Absolutely. When you shine a light on a problem like this, it really helps to cut down on the crime. So we're making sure everybody is alert and report anything suspicious to the police immediately.
All right, so there you go. That's the latest from the area of Hollywood. If you have any information, please contact the police. Back to you in the studio.
All right.